I feel like with me, when I first, I'm the firstborn, I felt like there was a lot of pressure on me to, like, I had to do everything right, I had to lash it out somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be honest now. What's the worst thing I've done?
Blame me for stuff that I couldn't control. You remember that?
I don't even remember it.
That sucks.
I know.
That sucks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't think, what did mom and dad do? Like, they showed love, they've said, we love you guys. Mom tells us every day.
With emotions, right, growing up, I feel like the only things that we were taught is to pray. For us, two guys who kind of like are not really practicing Catholics anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we don't really have anything now. All right.
So for this episode, we want to talk about being the oldest sibling versus middle sibling, huh? Yes, I love it. And EJ, are you any of those, or are you just his only child?
I'm the oldest.
Oh,
yeah.
You're the oldest.
Of what?
Firstborn. 2. So I have a younger sister. She's like 4 years removed from my age, so 20.
So you and me are oldest siblings, and Noel here is the middle child.
Man, the middle child.
What is the stereotypes they say about middle children? I always see like content about that sometimes, where it's like you're the forgotten one or something.
Yeah, that's so. I've never seen that on. I don't really get too much of that content, but I have heard like in like middle school, high school days, like the middle child is the forgotten child.
Yeah. How do you feel about that as a middle child?
Was
that the case for you?
Was I forgotten? I don't know if I would say forgotten, but I feel like because we were like an equal family of 5 and it was boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. I can say I've definitely felt like left out of something sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like what?
You know why? Because you and Cassie would always fight, and mom and dad would always like they would argue. Well, not argue about that, but they would complain about that or have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And then when you guys moved out or went somewhere, okay, next round is Rika and Gabe, which was honestly even more violent because Rika, for some reason, she learned how to use her long hair to fucking whip people, and she was just whipping Gabe.
Oh my God.
And then because Gabe was the younger sibling, he was like, "Oh, you're older than me, which means I could actually hit you even though you're a girl." So he would just take whatever he could find and start hitting her. And then that would be a train wreck. And then I
didn't know they fought that much when I wasn't living home.
They did.
Wow.
They definitely did. And I don't know. I felt like between those two wars going on, I was kind of just like neutral and just kind of like kept to my own.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, I feel like when I was still living at home, when I did try to piss you off, like you wouldn't fight back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't fight back.
And I felt bad, so I kind of stopped doing it.
Yeah, thank you.
But like with like Gabe, like he would fight back, so I kept fucking with him.
Yeah. Oh, Gabe was a fighter, even with me. Yeah. Before Gabe like actually matured, like there was a point in his life where he actually matured.
Yeah.
And a point where he was just really doing really stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But that period when he was doing really stupid stuff and just being really immature.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he just like didn't care. Like, I don't care. I'm mucho macho. I'm the head of this house. I don't care who you are. I don't care anyone. What? I am me. Okay, he obviously didn't say that, but he definitely had that mindset. He was like, yeah, I could do whatever I want. I'm cool as fuck,
Oh my God.
Yeah. At least from my perspective. I feel like Cassie and Rika would agree with me on that.
Yeah.
But like definitely his like early middle school years and then even like really early high school years, like I felt that from him,
Funny. Yeah. Okay, your oldest sibling. How did you treat your younger siblings when you grew up? Did you bully them?
Yeah, a little.
Oh, that's our job as like a older sibling. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel
we take our angst out on them.
That's your job. That's what you say. That's your job.
No, it's like the typical thing.
It's part of the job description.
It's like the typical thing. It's like every time. But I mean, there's some people that don't. Well, how would you bully your siblings?
I don't know. I fuck with her like oh, go do this, or like and then like it's like. Man, I don't even know. I don't know how to describe this.
I remember all the things.
Dude, okay, yeah, I could tell the experience.
And I do this with my sisters too. Like I'd be like, oh, and then throw it in their face. Like, oh,
I've done that actually.
Yeah.
Was it called a buttercup?
I don't know what it's called. I just do it.
Yeah. No, there are some experiences where you're like bullying me, but they were kind of funny when I look back at it.
Yeah.
Like the one that I always laugh about, and it's always a great story.
Yeah.
Is the one where me and Gabe were in the bathroom and I was brushing my teeth and he was peeing. Okay, let me lay the story. Okay, so our bathroom is similar to Mick's bathroom right now, where the sink is like at the end of the bathroom and the toilet is a little bit further up, right?
Yeah, they're kind of like next to each other.
They're right next to each other, right? So I'm brushing my teeth or I'm doing something at the sink.
Yeah.
And Gabe's standing up, peeing over the toilet, right? We're brothers. We don't care, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess Mick sees his opportunity. He walks in, takes me, pushes me to the ground, and then gets my brother who's peeing and turns me on him.
Wait, no, I didn't push you to the ground. I just remember like taking Gabe while he was like midstream and just like turning him towards you.
Because I remember I was on the floor. That's why I had so much piss on me. Because I was like on the floor. Gabe, stop. And he was like, I can't. It won't stop. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was probably like.
I feel like during that time, I was like doing the most, y'all.
You really were doing the most.
Yeah. Like, and I remember like during that time, like what I would always do is like we're in public, right? In public, at the mall, going up the escalator, no matter what, I'm pantsing both of them. No matter what, I'm just like constantly pantsing them, no matter what, in public with our mom and dad. And my mom was just like, "Why are you doing this? Stop, Mikhail, stop!" And I just kept doing it.
Wait, I remember so many times you had to do that too. Because I remember at one point, I just had a habit of just tying my sweatpants really tight because you would always pants us on an escalator.
Yeah, it's just because like me and my homies were in that phase where like we'd go to the mall, and we'd just try to pants each other all the time.
Yeah.
Or like just do like the nut check, just like.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but my favorite one is when I make you guys walk the plank, and I call it the plank because it's like, all right, so this is like the edge, the sofa armrest, right? And like they're still small, so I'd be like, they piss me off. You're walking the fucking plank. All right, and the plank is like this. I get them to stand on the sofa edge, and I hold their underwear, and I'm like, walk off the plank. They're like, no, and I push them off, and then they fall off the sofa couch, and I'm like holding them up by their underwear, and they're like, ah, it's like the craziest wedgie.
Oh my God, it was funny. I remember like you would like threaten Gabe, be like, Gabe, you want to walk the plank? And he'd be like, no. I don't know why, but like for some reason he wouldn't even try to fight it. He would just be like, oh my God, it's about to happen. And then he would just take it.
Oh, that's so sad. How old are you guys doing this shit?
You were probably like
Gabe was really young when you were doing it.
Yeah.
He was like,
you guys are what? You and Gabe are how many years apart?
I'm
10 years.
6 years, I think.
Yeah. So you must have been like 12 and he was like 6 or something.
Yeah. Or maybe even younger. Like, maybe he was like 4 and then I was like 10. Because I remember we were really young when you were doing that.
Yeah. But, and they were like the nipple twisters. Like I just like get you down and like, and then hold your arms up and like, here comes the nipple twister.
I know. It was like torture.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not gonna lie. When I was in high school, I was going through a lot of things. So I had to like, just like vent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's great that you took it out on us. Totally not passing down the torch of trauma towards your other siblings. That's great.
Really? Hey, but look at us now. We're all cool. We all hang out. Yeah, like, we're all chill. We're all honest.
There are good memories from that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's very funny. Like that pee story is that's an instant like laugher every time I tell it at a bar.
Well, okay, let's be honest now. What's the worst thing I've done?
The worst thing you've done is when you blame me for stuff that I couldn't control.
Wait, like what? Like you couldn't control?
Like when we first started growing up in like high school, I was like maybe in high school, you were in college and Cassie was in college.
Yeah.
Like when it came to the parties, right?
What parties?
When we Cassie would throw parties, or you or Cassie would throw a party at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Mom and Dad were smart because they were able to get information out of me just because they knew how young I was and like how they were able to like just be like, oh, they told me this, and then they would get me to tell them information.
Oh, so you at one point you ratted us out on the parties?
I did. There was one party that Cassie and it was mostly Cassie's party, but you were there, right? And this was one of the weekends when they were gone, right? And I was going to I was at like some friend's court practice or whatever, right? And they were about to pick me up. And this is like my first time seeing them since they came back, right? And then they were like, okay, how was everything? How was your friends? How are they doing? And then straight away, mom was like, was there a party at the house? And then I was first starting off, I was like, no, mom, there's no party. And then she was like, stop lying to me. I know Cassie and Mick already tell me that there was a party. So why are you still lying to me? And then I felt really bad. And I was like, okay, yeah, there was a party. Like they threw one. I was just like hiding in my room, right? And then this was like right before Thanksgiving. And then I remember you wanted to talk to me really bad because you were like, what did you tell mom and dad? What did you tell mom and dad? And then one of the things that I hate about that day was just because like pretty much mom told you and me to essentially bring down all the Christmas gifts from the attic. And that whole time I was bringing it down by myself while you were just yelling at me and Cassie because you're like, oh, you guys get me in trouble. Like, I can't believe you guys do this. You guys are so fucking stupid. You guys are idiots. Yeah. And that was probably one of the worst things that you did.
I remember that.
You remember that?
I don't even remember it.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I really hated you for a long time.
I feel like this is like a family therapy session or some shit.
It is.
I'm mad that you don't remember it because it was one of the only things that you actually said sorry for. And the way you said sorry about it too was you texting me like, "Hey, sorry about that. I was mad. LOL."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a crazy shit right there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. Well, it was a big deal. So
wow.
But I don't blame you anymore, so I'm over it.
Dang. And I was like, what? Just coming home from college?
Yeah, you were home for college. It was during the holidays.
Wow.
Yeah. I was maybe like a freshman or sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it wasn't the most fun. But I do feel like
happened. Oh, I mean, like, I remember if it was after freshman year of college, like, yeah, I remember I remember when I went to college, I broke up with my girlfriend at the time because, the distance thing. And then when I come back, like we hung out and I was like trying to get her to come back, like, oh, let's keep doing this. And then just like, nope.
It cut off.
And I was pissed.
Yeah.
And like what I do, and I feel like what I've learned over the years is like I like hold things in, and then I don't like let anyone see it or whatever. But then with you guys, like, it comes out,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess it's like a family thing or something. But in a weird way, I was like comfortable enough to like show my emotions to you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
even if it's anger.
To be honest, you weren't really showing your emotions. It was more just you just lashing out.
Yeah,
that's all it was. But I guess,
yeah, that's what everyone says about me. Where like if I ever get mad, it's like, it's like it only takes like it's just because it's built up, and then it's whatever's the next thing that just like makes the teapot scream.
Yeah,
that's when I go off.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Like I remember with when I think I was still living at home. Remember we used to do like those Nerf gun fights? Like I'd invite like my homies and then you and Gabe would like, we'll have the Nerf guns and we'd have a Nerf gun fight in the house.
Yeah.
Like crazy. And then I remember like one of my friends, Dan, had came over for it and then he had like a sword or it was like Gabe's sword.
Oh.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And then he hit Gabe with it and Gabe started crying.
Yeah.
And then I just fucking I fucked him up.
Yeah, no, I remember you were yelling at him a bunch. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so it's weird.
No, I mean, at least you did that to defend Gabe. That wasn't like
yeah, but it's like how my emotions are. Like I kind of like hold things in, and then like I just don't like let people know how I feel.
Yeah.
If anyone ever asks me, it's kind of like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, and it's just all building up, and then someone pisses me off, and I'm already at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it from me.
No, I honestly got that from you. Or I didn't realize I got that from you, but like I was just honestly, it's not even just a you thing, it's just like a family thing where we just didn't know how to essentially like deal with our emotions. Like it would be the same thing where we would kind of just like put it away. But then at random moments it would like just like blast,
Yeah.
And I really discovered that when I was like with my first girlfriend. Cause like I noticed a lot, like why am I getting mad over like the stupidest shit, By like the last 2 years, I was like, damn, like there were some moments where I really like regret and like saying shit because like I was being like a tool and a douchebag just because like I didn't know how to like express how I was feeling, you know?
If you and me are the same in that way, then is this how it is with you when you're in a relationship? It's like, okay, like your girlfriend does something you don't like, you don't bring it up, but you just kind of like jot it down as a red flag in your head.
Yep.
And then another thing happens, you do the same thing, you don't say anything.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as soon as like these red flags add up, when it hits the tipping point, then you just like freak out.
No, that's exactly how I would describe my first one. Yeah.
That's why like I fell in love with Sarah so much, because I feel like she unlocked something about myself, or like or made me realize something how I am in relationships, where it's like at one point I remember it was like our first fight when we first started dating, and I was gonna do my thing where it's like, oh, I just jotted down as a red flag in my head, and then move on. Like, I'm good, no worries. But she was like, no, like we're not going to bed until you tell me how you feel. And it took me like so long. It like took everything to get it out, but as soon as I did it, I like realized something, and I was like, whoa, like this is kind of why like my relationships have never lasted that long. It's because I'm not speaking my feelings, my honest truth with a partner who's supposed to be like your true partner, right? You know?
Yeah.
If they're gonna be a partner for life.
No, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's like
what? Communication. Yeah. And that's something like I lack my whole life, because like it'd be like I feel like my with most relationships in the past is kind of like all these red flags would come up, and then I would just break up with them, and they sometimes don't even have a clue, and they're like, why? What did I do? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just like me, not you kind of thing. But
no, I get that.
Yeah. And then they'll just never like figure out like, I didn't see it coming. Yeah.
Not to like invalidate your experience or anything, but like that's actually, I feel like very common with Asian young men.
Really?
Because like again, Asian heritage or like Asian families I feel like are pretty known to not talk about their feelings, you know?
Yeah.
And then for like an Asian man, like I feel like there is this like expectation of not only like do they have to support the family, right? But they also like can't be emotional, you know?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think, what did mom and dad do? Like, we never talked about feelings. Yeah, but
no, they never.
They showed love. You know, they've said, "We love you guys." You know, mom tells us every day.
Yeah. No, but that's true. But they never I never seen dad like get emotional, or like we never. The thing is, when with emotions, right, growing up, I feel like the only things that we were taught with is to pray.
That's true.
And like for us,
Yeah.
Two guys who kind of like are not really practicing Catholics anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we don't really have anything now. It's just like, okay, let's just be angry or let's just put it away.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think about that a lot. Yeah, no, I mean, because I have a lot of like Asian friends, you know, in my Asian group, right? And then like I have a lot of female friends who have Asian boyfriends, and they tell me their stuff. And then like when they tell me about their stuff, I'm just like, oh, like I get it, because like I've been in their shoes, and like I get why they're mad, and I get what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Not an excuse, but like you kind of just like get the logic.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
How about you? Are you a good communicator? You're a Pisces, so I feel like you are.
Oh, I'm Virgo.
Oh shit, he's not. He's a Virgo. It is his birthday today. I forget.
Yeah.
Oh,
I keep thinking you're a Pisces, but
I've gotten pretty good at communicating. Like I used to be like you.
Yeah.
But ever since I met Allura, like she's like kind of like my Sarah. Like she taught me, hey, you're supposed to be like talking about this like before it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So like you don't lash out or like anything like that. And like
that's true. Before it becomes a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
one.
like wow.
Yeah.
Like Allura, she's taught me so much about like myself and like all the problems I had and a little bit still got, but honestly, whenever we have a fight, it's not even big anymore. It's just like a mature conversation between two adults.
Yeah.
That's
like, how it feels with me and Sarah too. It's kind of like we fight, and then, but it feels like it's just a conversation. You know, and we're never like
yeah.
Like in the past, I've had like fucking heels thrown at me and shit thrown at me. You know, like it's crazy. But it's great.
I feel like when you hear like crazy relationship stories today, I think it's just they haven't figured that out yet. Like, you need to just talk it out in a mature manner, just like not like two kids yelling at each other.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I don't know. I don't really have anyone that I need to like express my feelings to all the time because I'm not in a relationship. But in terms of just like kind of deep diving into like how I think about myself and not just like thinking about my emotion, but thinking about why I'm feeling this way and kind of just like going into it more rather than pushing it away is when COVID started. That's when I really started feeling like.
Yeah, because didn't you have what did you say? You had a moment with dad or when you were living
Yeah,
at
so
home?
I feel like I had my first like panic attack ever when I was working at home with mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the time when this is technically my first adult job.
Mm-hmm.
And like anyone who works in media knows that like there's gonna be times where like it just gets super stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those times, right? And it was so bad where like 3 days I didn't get any sleep because I was just thinking about work constantly.
You didn't sleep for 3 days?
Yeah. And
Holy
the thing
shit.
was because like I don't know, like I kept on trying to like I slept in the dark. I tried putting on TV to help me fall asleep, and I tried like smoking a lot of weed to make me fall asleep, but I just couldn't fall asleep because I was always thinking about work the next day.
Whoa.
And then one day I decided to take a sick day because I didn't sleep at all. I took the sick day, and then I said I was going to pick up Jollibee. Who wants some on me? And then dad
on me too.
Yeah. And then dad made a joke, and he was like, "No soda? Come on!" And then that like randomly just like blew my cap off, and I sent like this long ass paragraph like telling dad off, and then I had to like go
sitting at the drive-through line, just like
no, dude, I was going crazy on that.
Well, I need a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you say? Like, wasn't
I don't even remember. Like, it was some stupid shit. I was like, Dad, like I'm doing something really nice for you. It'd be nice if you just shut up and stop. I don't know. I remember it was being something really rude. Yeah, but like me, like I would never say that to Dad.
Yeah,
so like he instantly knew that there was something going off, and then Cassie texted me. He's like, "Hey, like just want to make sure you're okay." And then it was
damn.
Yeah, that was like that was a crazy point in my life because I just realized like I never realized how much I pushed down my like thoughts and feelings until like that moment when you're like just like at home and you're like just alone with your thoughts. You have no partying, you have no drugs, you have no alcohol to like kind of like distract you from that feeling. And then that's what like kind of like made me realize too, like I depend a lot on like going out to like just kind of like make me feel better about myself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have been down the same road if I didn't have music.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what music for me was, or like just being creative. It was like my way to just like let it out.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I never really had that outlet. And like,
well, now you're here. We got the podcast. Yeah. We got Channel Mix tomorrow. Like it's gonna be lit. You know what I mean?
And you have a support system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, I'm still learning how to get over stuff. Like when you talk to me about the girl stuff, like I know you're just trying to help me, but sometimes it feels like you're that older brother talking down to me again.
No, I'm just trying to. I want to like push you,
make
you accountable. I want to be like your accountable partner. You know what I mean?
I understand that, but like, there's still a part of me that I'm still trying to get over, where I don't see you as that asshole anymore. Yeah. Like sometimes, even when we work on this podcast, and you're like telling me stuff, and you're telling me stuff about Channel Mix, like in my head, automatically, I'm like, no, shut the fuck up. I know what I'm doing. Like honestly,
I didn't even get any of that.
Well, that's because I'm so silent, and like that's the dangerous thing about me, like keeping my thoughts in, is like sometimes it could be really like chaotic in there.
Yeah. So when I'm like, oh yeah, we should try this with the podcast, you're like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah. In your head, you're like, fuck you, dude. This is how it's gonna be.
Dude, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like you don't need to tell me all the time.
Communication.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Let's make this new move. All right. When we're just working on stuff or whatever, you just say what's on your mind. You know, like, because I feel like I had that kind of issue when working in studios with other people, where it's like I'm like, I don't like what they're doing, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to create confrontation, and like I just don't want to be that guy. But like to get the best thing out of someone, you kind of have to like be as honest, you know.
No, yeah.
So I do it. And it still makes me uncomfortable, but like I feel like it's an itch you need to like scratch.
No, no. I mean, it's not like I'm like totally not. I'm not a bad communicator with everyone. It's just with specific people.
Yeah.
Like mostly with like my some siblings, you in particular, and then mom and dad. Sometimes it's like something with mom and dad is something I've been trying to work on recently.
Yeah.
And like when I'm with them, I just try to like kind of get deeper with them, or like just explain my thoughts, just because like I feel like that's what I don't know. Like, you talk about it all the time how you like sometimes stress about how old they're getting. Like, I get that stress all the time too. So like every time I'm with them, I try to just like make the time up for it because like I don't want to have that regret where I didn't have that conversation with them or whatever that conversation is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know like mom and dad's like past, their true past. Like, I feel like as they get older, they're like, you notice how they get older, they don't care as much. Like, like they'll let curse words slide with us nowadays, or whatever it may be. And like, I want to know like their past because like all I know about mom and dad is just like, it's like, oh, okay, mom, the worst thing mom's ever done when she was young was smoke cigarettes, and dad, like, I don't know anything. I even like go to his brothers, like our titos and uncles, and I'll be like, what was my dad really like?
No, I ask them all the time too, and they say like, no, like your dad was like he didn't really do that much. No.
Nah, but the thing is, they're human. I mean, everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And I get why they don't want to like show us that because, like they're our parents. They want to be role models to us.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're at the age now where it's like, show us that like you're human too. Like what did you, so I could relate, I guess, maybe.
I kind of get what you're saying, but I feel like maybe it's because maybe you haven't lived with them, but like I feel like I see them as human just because like I feel like I see their mistakes currently when I'm like living, like let's say at age 8, like there are things I don't like about them, and or no, sorry, not age 8, like 18, 20, right?
I was about to say,
yeah. When I'm older, what I mean, but like there are things like they do to me that they don't know that like really bothers me or they don't understand that really affects me, right? Like let's say if like them talking about my weight really makes me like self-conscious and like really look at myself in a lower kind of way, like they don't know that. And like now when I see them, like that's something they don't do as much. But I feel like a great example of what I'm talking about is like when like Cassie introduced Kate to mom and dad. Because like you and me both know when Cassie first like came out to them, right?
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad, and like it was like such an emotional time for our family. And then
it was like the first time I cursed off like mom and dad.
Exactly, it was like created like the biggest conflict in our family ever.
Yeah.
But like when she introduced them and like mom and dad, like we asked me, Rika and Gabe asked like, okay, so like what? And you're like yeah, she's our daughter. That's who she wants to be with, and that's how we support. And like,
dude,
honestly,
when I found that out, like I wanted to cry too.
I wanted to cry too, dude, because like I was like, yeah, like that's just like it's like I don't know, like I already love them already, but like just seeing that growth from them is like something like because I feel like you thought like we would never see that from them, because like their mom especially was like really solid about that, and then to them like kind of like just it's like just out of nowhere, kind of like maybe not out of nowhere, but like just suddenly change. It's like. It was like heart wrenching to me, and it was like a really jaw dropping moment for me because like I was like, oh my god, like people can change, and like they're human beings, like they're not just people who like follow this book by their lives, but they like follow their own rules at the same time,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about my bullying to you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like even though the way I bullied you affected you like that, I feel like I'm thinking back now, and Cassie definitely got the worst from me because she was the first one. You know?
I can't speak on her stuff. Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, there'll be another podcast, and she could chew me out.
I will say, like, there's one thing I wish, like, other than the bullying, I wish I will say I wish you were around more because I felt like I was missing like an older brother for a while.
Yeah.
But like, luckily, I feel like I had Cassie and her friends to.
Yeah.
Like kind of like get me there, Like they introduced me to so many stuff, and I feel like I wouldn't like grow if I didn't have them,
Yeah, I felt that way too. So now that you're living with me now for what, 3 years now?
3 years, yeah.
How do you feel? Like, what's it like?
It's good. I feel like we have a good relationship.
No, be honest.
No. It's good. No. Yeah. It's good because I am starting to I am still dealing with that thing where like we're working together and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like I'm working on that, like I catch myself doing that and I'm like, okay, no, I'll just take a step back. Like don't get like too emotional about it. Like I feel like if I wasn't living with you, then I wouldn't be able to create with you. And like creating with you has helped me build a better relationship with you,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I want just like more honesty. If you want to say, fuck we're doing it this way, then let's do it that way.
Okay.
And the true test is tomorrow during channel mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be exciting.
I know. It's
gonna and with exciting. Me too, both of you.
Yeah. EJ will be here.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still taking you on the dance lesson. I need that.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Yeah. I know I got that unlocked. I don't feel insecure.
I have visions
about
in my head. It's like me having music videos and me dancing.
Oh God.
Call me.
I just want to go to a house a house party.
Yeah.
And then like bust pause. Then bust then like just dance. Like actually know how to speak the language of dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying you want to join this lesson too?
I'm down.
Okay. He needs help too.
I tried teaching
he
does?
Yeah.
He does?
I tried teaching you.
Yeah, I saw the test shot. I was like, you can do better.
Yeah. On the dancing?
Yeah. He's not true Filipino yet. He hasn't reached the Filipino standard yet.
Damn.
Nah, I'm playing with you, bro. I'm talking shit and I can't do any better. Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm a DJ, not a dancer. So.
But all right, let me do my perspective as the oldest. Okay. So I feel like with me, when I first, I'm the firstborn, I felt like there was a lot of pressure on me to like I had to do everything right, or like they were really hard on me. I feel like where it was like, if I got a B plus, like why didn't I get an A plus? Or I felt like I was like never good enough a lot of times.
Yeah.
And just the pressure and all that. And yeah, there's my way of lashing out. And I didn't really have much friends in high school. I just had you guys around.
No, yeah.
So when I felt a certain way, I had to lash it out somewhere. Yeah. And you guys are around me the most, so it's gonna go where I live and stuff. So
yeah, that's what I eventually like came to conclusion with. Like honestly, I dealt with this like bad image of you up until like maybe I felt like there was at one point you changed, which was like maybe I think once you moved back from Boston and you moved to LA, I felt like there was a change in you. Yeah. But like I feel like I like kind of got over me being mad at you for like making me feel like this way after I kind of came to conclusion and like I tried to like step in your shoes and like you're right, like the oldest sibling is the one who has the most responsibility and will get yelled at the most. Like I feel like one of the instances I do remember was like one time when we were in St. John Vianney, and
is this the bus situation?
Yeah, the bus situation.
That.
Yeah. I heard that day, like I felt like shit, and then like for a while, like that would always be in my head. Like that is probably one of the moments I never forget.
Yeah, let's explain the bus situation. So yeah, I remember I was in 8th grade, right? I think so. I was kind of like the kind of like leader of the bus, or like the one who like makes sure everything's all good. And then I remember I had told you, it was like, okay, was it Rika or Gabe?
Gabe.
Yeah, I was like, make sure Gabe gets on the bus so he's not left behind, right? It was that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah.
Yeah, and what you didn't do it or something?
No, so I think it was something like actually I don't think Gabe was in high school because from what I remember I was in 1st grade.
No, yeah, this is like grade school. Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually think it was a confusion on whether I had to go to aftercare or I had to go on the bus.
Oh yeah.
And I was confused, and I thought I had to go to aftercare that day. And then you told me, I think you told me that I needed to go on a bus, but I think it was because it was like Tuesday or whatever day we usually go to normal aftercare. I just stayed behind. Yeah. And I remember I was missing from the bus, and then that's what initially got you in trouble with the teachers, and then probably mom and dad, right?
Yeah. So when that shit rained down on me, like I have no one to take it out on. Yeah. So it lands on you. Yeah. And I'm sorry for that. And
no. All the things that you've done to me, I've internally forgiven. It's just like a habit that I'm trying to like chase away in my adult years, Yeah. No, I understand. Like if I was an older brother and I had that responsibility too, I wouldn't know, especially what you were 14 or 13. Yeah. I wouldn't know how to lash that out because one, you don't have an older figure to help you figure that out, you know? So it's like
I felt like really alone a lot back then.
Yeah. No, yeah, I understand that now. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely like, I don't put that blame on you at all anymore. Like it's just, I feel like it just, because I mean, like with anything that happened in our childhood years, it just like formed like a cycle of response. And like, that's just something like I'm trying to break,
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Oh, this episode got really deep.
Yeah, it did.
I think this is my favorite episode so far.
Yeah. Genuinely. No, nothing tops the poop
the piss story.
The egg roll. The beef egg roll. Great. Oh my god! Yeah. All right, let's end it with a hug, bro. Come here. Let's do it. Kawaii. Love you, bro. Love you too. Yeah.
There we go. Love that.
Oh, I know.